what's going on in Bob's workshop kitchen today? Well, we're going to the lake for a weekend. We want to make things easy, so I decided to make up a batch of deer chili. Now it is already November. In a couple of weeks deer season will be open again. Time to finish up anything left. So here we go. All I've got in the pot right now cooking is a large sweet onion, coarsely chopped, a large green pepper, coarsely chopped, about a heaping tablespoon of this pre-minced garlic. I do it easy. So that's all that's in there now. I add a little oil and I keep on adding a little water to keep it from scorching. Now my venison isn't quite thawed, so I'm going to turn this down to low to begin with. But I have about 1.25 pounds here maybe. Okay, let me set this down. See, it says GV21. That's ground venison from 1921, or 2021, 19. Boy. So we're going to go over and toss this guy right in the bottom of the pot. There we go. And we're just going to keep breaking him up. Turn the heat back up a little bit. We're going to keep breaking him up as we go along, as he thaws. It, he, she, whatever. It's only take a few minutes. Just let her sit on one side, sizzle for a while. Now I add a little water once in a while. To keep it from burning, and the steam in the water really helps. But I will boil that off before I start adding the other ingredients, because I don't want to water this down. But for this process, we're going to add the water just to help distribute the heat, make a little moisture in there to keep from burning. I've already opened up my dark red kidney beans. I think they're 14 or 16 ounce cans. My vision isn't that good. They are 15.5 ounce. Alright, and 1 can of Campbell's tomato soup, a quart of home canned tomatoes, which I've drained the juice, and then I ran my knife down in there and kind of stirred to try to break up. I've got some coarse ground pepper and some salt, and I'll show you the rest of the spices. So we're getting to the point where this meat is starting to get broke down pretty good. Still got some frozen in the middle. What I like to do when I'm doing the meat like this is I like to add the spices to the meat mixture to just kind of flavor the meat. And what do I add? Of course, good old standard chili powder. I add a little extra cumin and a little thyme and salt and pepper. And I'm going to use coarse ground black pepper here. Don't want to add too much salt. Be healthy. Haha. Yeah. Alright, this is coming along good. I'm going to flip this one more time. The side that's down obviously melts more. Oh yeah, it's almost all the way through now. Just that little thin slab left. Throw the hot meat back on top. Okay, let's add our spices. We'll start out with the chili powder. Sorry, I gotta hold the camera under my arm. I'll open everything up here for you. Chili powder. Cumin. Thyme. Okay. And this is just by guess and by gosh. I don't have any. Start out with about that much. Tablespoon and a half, maybe. Not much extra cumin, but cumin is what gives it that southwestern smell. And then some thyme, and not a lot of this either, but this is a very herby spice, and I like it. Alright, I think that's good to start with. Add a little salt. I'm not going to over salt it. And I have to grind the pepper by hand, so I can't show you that, but you know, just a mill, just a pepper mill. I'm done with the pepper. And for putting the primary spices in here. And the meat is now thawed all the way through, I think. Yeah, I can break it up. And I'm just going to keep cooking this down until I don't see any more pink as I'm stirring. As soon as that's cooked all the way through, we'll come back and I'll show you the next step. Alright, the meat is pretty much cooked down to where I want it, and I forgot one more secret ingredient. Good old hickory liquid smoke. And, you know, a tablespoon maybe, or a teaspoon, just to give it a little bit more of that woodsy flavor, you know. Alright, so what goes in next? Well, as I said, I chopped those tomatoes. This is all cooked all the way through. So we're going to add our tomatoes. And old reliable. Whose mom didn't cook with tomato soup when you were a kid, huh? Or still? This just makes the sauce like creamy. Here, get you over here a minute. While I dig the rest of the tomatoes over here. We want to get as much of that as we can, don't we? Alright. Mix that in. I like chili these days. Now lately, I used to drain the beans, but lately I've been adding the juice and all. Well, I'm going to let this simmer down just a few more minutes with just the tomatoes and tomato sauce in it, because I don't want to overcook the beans. Alright. Getting to look like chili, isn't it? Now, originally chili has no meat in it. So that's where the saying chili con carne comes from, because that means chili with meat. So a lot of people think that chili is all meat and the other stuff is the afterthought, but it's actually the other way around. You know, especially for poor people, they didn't have a lot of meat. Gonna wash off our empty cans while we go. I really hate these Ziploc. Remember when you used to be able to take a Campbell's soup can like this, especially the tomato, and cut the top off it square and let it all just slide out like a log, kind of like cranberry sauce, the real cranberry sauce in a can. Yeah. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to let this cool down and take it with us so we can eat it on either tomorrow afternoon, because we're leaving early for the lake tomorrow. Thank God it's going to be a horrible weekend. The weather is gorgeous today and it's going to turn like crap. So I don't know of any other ingredients that goes in here, so we can go to the chili beans, juice and all. These are dark red kidney beans. I just like the darker ones better. You can get light ones. My mom always used to say, oh, you got to throw the juice in there. That's where all the flavor comes from. So there you go. Easy venison chili. Simple ingredients. A little over a pound of ground venison, a big green pepper, a big sweet onion, some minced garlic if you like. You could add garlic powder or salt, I suppose, if you wanted to. I put in 3 cans of the beans, a quart of tomatoes. Of course, you can buy them, and if you don't can them yourself. And let's see. I mean, that's it. A can of tomato soup. And we'll simmer this down a little bit. Make sure the veggies get tender, and then we'll let her cool down. Alright guys. It's going to be delish. I hope you try it out. It's so simple. You can make it in half an hour. Take care. God bless. We'll see you the next time at Bob's Barn Workshop.
Sweet, looks so fine. She makes me shiver, she's quite divine.